Hi there, and thank you for checking out Cosmos and wanting to learn how to play. It's a pretty complicated game, and I created this tutorial to see if I can teach people how to play. My name is Mark, and I created the game. And once again, thanks for coming to play. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go through the tutorial and show you everything, and then let you go through the tutorial yourself, and hopefully this will help you learn how to play. It's not that complicated, it's just a little weird at some places. So, anyway, go ahead and click on that. But yeah, this is the board here, and the game Cosmos is a game where you roll dice to score points and try to work your way from 0 points up to 1,200 points. And up to four different people can play. And along the way, from 0 to 1,200, you can earn other points called opportunity points, and these come into play at the end of the game. The winner is the player at 1,200 points with the most number of opportunity points. So, and incidentally, now you can earn points by rolling these dice, and you can score like single sides or with the wild die here. We'll get into all this here. You can score straights of 3, 4, and 5. You can score 3 of a kind. You can score 5 of a kind. Turns are simultaneous, so all players all play at the same time, and then when they complete their turn, they all wait until everybody's completed their turn, and then it goes on to the next turn. And then that's how you score points. But then you can earn these opportunity points by two ways. You can either throw a special roll called a chaos, or by landing on way stations. And once again, we'll get into all that as well. So ultimately, every turn will end in one of three things. A player can choose to stop, either or they fail to score, or they roll a chaos. One of those three things. And so yeah, here are your dice. And you know what? Let's see. I'm going to go back to the end of the game. So you earn these opportunity points, and they come into play at the end of the game. So that is when one player reaches 1,200 points, then the end game starts. Any players not at 1,200 will get the difference in opportunity points between the player at 1,200 and their opportunity points, and the difference between that plus 1 is the number of extra turns that they will get to try to get to 1,200 and have a comeback win. So again, sounds weird, but you'll see. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start the first thing here. We'll go ahead and click on that, set up a one-player game, and we will click here to start the game.
Shall we play a game?
And so clock's running, the game is started. So we're on. We're going to start turn number 1, and you do that by clicking on ready, and then you roll. Click on roll to roll any dice. In this case, 5 dice. And here we're going to start off with scoring the simplest way you can score. Now here you have your 4 base dice. You can see them. They're all like this color. And then this is your wild dice. We'll get into this. And the simplest way that you're going to score is just individual sides. The white dice here are numbered 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 10. And the 5 is a numeral 5, so it's worth 5 points. But here you can see 10 points. You click on that. Anytime you have this green, anytime a 5 or a 10 comes up, you have to score with it before you can click on roll again. So one way or another, these have to be scored with. So you click on that, you take 10 points, and you can see your score for this turn goes up by 10, and you're 190 points out from the next way station there. So we're going to go ahead and 10 points isn't a lot, so we're going to click on roll, and here you can see we scored 5. So there's a 5 right there. And now we can either choose to stop or roll. But once again, 15 points. We're going to go ahead and click on roll. And here's another 15. A 5 and a 10. Boom. You got to score with it before you can do anything. You click on that. So now you can roll this one die over here and risk these 30 points. But we're just going to go ahead and stop for this roll here. Now, here we click on ready and then roll to start turn number 2. So you can see 10, 25, like that. You can, and now you have the wild die. And the wild die is enumerated to wild 4, 5, 6, 10. So 5s are worth 5, 10s worth 10. Everything's worth what they are, except wild can be anything you want. And we'll see that in the next lessons. So we're just going to take 5, and then we're going to go ahead and stop here. And that ends turn number 2. And you can see we're at 60 points. And here is your graph showing you from 0, 200, 400, 600. And then also on this side here, you've got the graph. So ready, roll. And here's 15 and 10 worth 10. So we're going to take 10 there and click on stop. So that ends that turn, and we're going to start turn number 4. So ready, roll. Here we have 15. Again, we have to score with this. Now we can roll these 3, but here we have the wild. So we're going to go ahead and, you can take it as 5, but we're going to take it as 10 points and stop with 25 points for now. So once again, we're going to start turn number 5. Ready, roll. Straights of 3. Just like it sounds. It's only worth 5 points. And straights can be 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, or 4, 5, 6. And you can use the wild side of the wild die to make up the straight if you need to. But again, straight of 3 is only worth 5 points. So let's go ahead and we're going to score that. So 4, 5, 6. Here's 10 and another 10 using the wild. Now, you've scored with all 5 dice. So once you've done that, you can't stop, but you have to roll all 5 dice. So we're gonna, and now that sometimes it's a bad thing, but we're gonna go ahead and do it because that's generally a good thing. So we click on roll, and you roll all 5 dice, and you get to add on to your score. You got 25 here, and once again, you're 65 points out right now from the way station. So you got 15, and we're gonna take another 10 here, and we're gonna be 40 points out. So we're going to hit stop and move on to our next turn. And it's going to be the straight of 4 is the lesson. So ready and roll. And here you've got the straight of 4. So just like it sounds, 2, 3, 4, 5, or it could be 3, 4, 5, 6. Or if this was the wild, you could use that in the mix as well. Now it's worth 20 points, so not a whole lot of points, but 20 is sometimes nice, especially if you score another dice as well. So we're just going to go ahead and click on that, score 20 points, and we're 20 points out from the next way station. So we're going to go ahead and click stop, and let's see if we can get 20 points. But of course we will, because this whole thing is scripted. So here we have another 20 points. You can do 3, 4, 5, 6. And just like that. And we were 20 points out. Now we're right on the way station. If we want to click stop, computer alerts you to that fact that you can hit the way station. And this is how you get opportunity points. You get 2 opportunity points by landing on the way stations. Just like that. So now you got 2 ops, 2 opportunity points. And then you see on the chart here, here's the opportunity point chart. And the other players will be here as well. And then, yeah, over here you'll see all the other players, later on in the game. So, that's a straight of 4. And now we're going to learn the 3 of a kind. So, ready? Roll. Here we've got 20. So 3 2s. 3 of a kind is worth 10 times the face value of one of the sides. So 3 2s, 20, 3 3s, 30, so on, so on, so on. If they come up like this, 2 2 2, they're not optional. You have to score them. But you can also get 3 of a kind by, say, having 2 2s and a wild. So, in fact, there'll be some examples coming up here. So we're going to go ahead and just click on this and score of 20 points. Normally you wouldn't do this, but we're going to. Now, ready? Roll. And here's the next example. So there's a lot of different things you could do with this roll. You could take like a straight of 4 and a 5 and have 25 and roll in. You could take a straight of 3 and 2 5s, have 15 and roll in. But what we're going to do here is we're going to go 5 5 and 5 on the wild here, and that stops, and then that gives us 50 points. We're 130 points out. We're going to stop with 50 points. So the next example is multiple 3 of a kinds. If you have the wild and two of a kinds, 2 10s, 2 6s, and a wild, you can have a couple different options of how to score here. First of all, you can do like 20 and a 5, but you could do 3 10s, that'd be 100, or you can do 3 6s, and that'd be 60. And in fact, that's what we're going to do. We're 130 points out. So, but you could take 100, that'd put us 30 out. But let's do this. We'll take 60, and then now we can score the 2 10s. So we have 80 points, and we can roll all the dice. And now we're 50 points out from the way station. And let's see what happens here. And here we go. We got 2 6s and 2 5s. You can score a bunch of different things here, but we need 50 points, and here we can take 50. Here's 60, but if you click again, 50. So stop with 130 points, land on the way station. So ready and roll. Now, when you get a 3 of a kind, that side becomes ineligible for their 2 remaining dice until you've scored with all 5 dice. Again, really kind of a weird thing, but very natural once you understand it. So, for instance, here we go. We got 3 of a kind. We got 4s already. The computer knows this. So you're going to have to re-roll one of these. And it gives you just click on re-roll, and boom, it'll re-roll it until it comes up something besides the 3 of a kind side. So here you have 3 4s, and you click on that. You score 40 points. So, yeah, the re-rolls there, you'll come across them. But it's a free re-roll, so at least there's that if it comes up. Okay, next thing. Roll the dice, and here you have scored a chaos. A chaos is when you fail to score, either like regular sides or score with the wild or any kind of straight that isn't optional, or a 3 of a kind. So you'll see. And the only time you'll ever score a chaos is when you're rolling all 5 dice. So if you are, when you're rolling all 5 dice, you are at risk of rolling a chaos. If you roll less than 5 dice, this will never come up. So, when you roll a chaos, you lose any points that you have on that turn. So if you have 200 in rolling, you lose that 200. If you have 0, you didn't lose anything. And then with each chaos, you earn an opportunity point. And then your turn ends. So chaos, they can be good, they can be bad, they can be exactly what you want. It's tough to tell sometimes. So anyway, and sometimes they are optional, and in this case, they're not. We're going to go ahead and click on this. And so there, we earned another opportunity point. So we have the straight of 5. Ready and roll. And here is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's a lot of different ways you can score with this, but we're just going to go ahead and take straight of 5. It's worth 100 points, and you score all 5 dice, and you get to add on to that 100 points. This is a great roll. So then we're 60 points out, roll, and once again we have 2 wild, or excuse me, 2, 3, 4 wild 6. So that is a straight of 5, but you can do all these other. If you needed 20 points or just 5 or 10, you could score this way. Or you could even do a chaos if you needed an opportunity point. So you can see there's a lot of different ways you can score once things come up. But we're going to take this 100 here, because this is another 100. Boom, 200 points, and roll in all 5. So ready? Not ready, but we're going to add on because we're still in the same turn. Now we have a chaos because we failed to score. And like I said, 200 points, but we lose it, and we're going to earn an opportunity point in turn. So 6 opportunity points, and we're at 440 points. So let's score some points here. We've got 20 and 5. We're going to roll them all. Here's another 20. So we got 45, 55, 60. Rolling them all. Another 50. So we got 110 plus 20, 130. Rolling them all. And we're going to take 5. And we're going to take another 10 here. Stop there. And that's 145. Puts us 15 points out from the way station. That's a great roll. So now this is a pretty complex little trick here. The cutter. And a cutter is, ready, roll, we're going to start. A cutter lets you score, it's a straight of 2, so like 2, 3, 3, 4, or wild 2, wild 3, wild 4, or wild 6. But not like wild 10 or wild 5. That wouldn't be a cutter. So, and what a cutter will do for you is cut your score for that turn, what's in the red box here, in half, and give you the option of stopping. This is a tool to land on the way stations, and you'll use it all the time. So you'll see here. So we're gonna try to hit the way station here. We needed 15 points. There's 10. But we went over. We got 20 and 30. So we're 30 points. We needed 15. But maybe if we get a cutter here, we're going to roll these 2. And sure enough, the computer even tells you, you can cut your score in half. You got a cutter here, 3, 4. And that'll cut the score in half. Boom. And you hit stop. So that gives you 2 opportunity points. We're at 600 points. We're halfway there, and we're ready to roll. Yeah. Incidentally, look, we got the time here, 15 minutes. Games can be like 3 or 4 minutes long. So if players are really good here. So here we got 20, and another 3 of a kind. So we got 80 and 90. And we're going to roll these 4, and we got a cutter, so it cuts it in half from 90 to 45. And then we're and my cat is in here too now. We're going to cut it. We got another cutter. Now you don't have to take the cutter. You could take the wild here. You can make that 10 or 5 if you want. But we're going to take the cutter. So we now got 20, but we've scored with all 5 dice. So we're going to add on to that 20 points. Let's see what we got here. Okay, 3 of a kind. There's 40, and a 5, and another 5. So we're going to roll, and we're going to make it straight of 4. There's 20 points there. And then we got 10 more here, and roll. Another 20 and a 5. And we've rolled all 5 dice, and here we have 3 of a kind, 3 sixes, and we're going to take another 60 points. We rolled 185 points, and we're going to stop 15 points out. Okay, and now this lesson 10, the call it button. And this is maybe the trickiest, most confusing part of the game, maybe. But call it. So this the call it button also, like the cutter, lets you cut it in half, and it's a tool only to really hit way stations. You don't want to use it for anything else but trying to hit a way station. So that's the most important thing about this, just for way stations. So you click on ready and roll, and here you have 10, but we need 15, so we're going to roll, and we got another 25. But if we go to 35 and we get down to 1 dice, anytime you get down to 1 dice, you can call it. So we're going to try to see what we can do. And in fact, the computer will even alert you to call it. Because if you successfully call it and cut your score in half, you will hit the way station. So the computer's your bro, and it tells you if you want to do this. So here's how you do it. You click on the call it button, and then when you call it, you get down to 1 dice, and you get to choose any 2 sides on that remaining die. And if you successfully choose any of those 2 sides, your score here in the red box will be cut in half, and then you will have to stop. And but you can see here, 35, you cut it in half. Well, that's 17 and a half, but you round down. You know, if it's 30 or 35, that will cut it in half to 15. So you have, we'll pick 2 numbers here, 3 and 6. Click on roll, and hit it. Computer says, hey, hit the way station. And so now we're gonna do just one more thing. Go review sort of everything that we've been through. Here you can take a 10, you can take a straight of 4, and roll them all. You can take 10, you can take 3 of a kind, that's 60 points, rolling them all. Take a straight of 3, 10, 10, 85 points, roll them all. And then 3 of a kind, 100. But we're just going to stop 15 points out and not take that as a 5. So we're going to go ahead and click on stop. You have 13 opportunity points, and the opposing player has gotten to 1200, so you have 8 chances now to get there. Let's see, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ops, but you had 13 ops, so you get 7 plus 1, so you have 8 chances to try to win the game. So you have 8, and here, ready, you have 7 left. And now this part is totally unscripted, so it's totally going to be up to you. You're going to get something different than what I'm doing right here. So, you know what? I can't get 15. I can take a straight of 3. Incidentally, if you ever want to undo anything, you just except over here. Once you click here, it's done. So chaos, we're going to take a chaos. And if we take a chaos in the end game, our turn ends, but we earn another opportunity point and another turn. So we take a chaos, there's no harm. Boom. We earn another opportunity point. This is 7, but that's not right. We have 8. So ready and roll. Now I still kind of need 15 to try to hit the 1,000, but really what we're trying to do here is get to 1,200 points with the 8 turns that we have. So here we have 30, maybe we'll get a cutter. 40, I might roll this one. Nothing. 7 chances. And here, okay. 8 chances, 200 points for the win. There's 20. I'm gonna roll these 2. 35. Chaos. Still 8 chances. There's 70 points. I'm going to take those. 7 chances. Ready, roll. Chaos. Excuse me. Still 7 chances. Need 130 points. 10. 30. I'll take 40 instead. 6 chances, and I need 90 points. There's 5. 10. 15. 2, 3, 4, but I've rolled all 5 dice. I get to continue rolling. 25. 30. I'll take 40 points and be 50 points out with 5 chances. There's 45. I do not really want to stop 5 points out. So I'm probably going to get nothing. There's nothing. So I lose the 45 points and my turn ends. 4 chances for 50 points. There's 20. I'm just going to stop with a 20, be 30 points out with 3 chances. There's 10. I need 2 10s here. Or, well, don't really like that. 2 chances, and I just need a 10. And there's 10. Okay. And there. Anyway, thanks for going through the tutorial here with me, and
Too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt. So sexy it hurts.